Hey guys, Elizabeth Quinn here again with Elizabeth's Scenes and Scents. Welcome back to my channel. Please don't forget to check out my website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, where I am Liz Quinn, your star scenting consultant. So today what I have for you is my quarterly club, and I did get the Whiff box of the month as my half-off item in that club. And it's a really good one with a special exclusive product that I knew was coming. It's not a surprise to me, but that is the reason that I chose to do this box. So first off, what is Scentsy Club? This is our subscription service. There are 3 different frequencies that you can choose. You can have 2 of those frequencies, all 3, or just 1. And there are lots of perks, such as when you get to $60 US in any of your clubs, you unlock a half-off item like the one that I have here, which is the Whiff box. Whereas if you were going to use the Whiff box in something like party rewards and hostess credits and all that, you're not able to use the half-off credit there for the Whiff box, if I'm remembering correctly. So Scentsy Club is really your only way to get this at the very best price. So let's get into this box that was my special half-off item of my shipment here. It has a lot to do with cleaning, and it's a heavy one. And we have a cute little flyer here that just kind of shows us what we're going to get. Now, in our new spring summer catalog, there was a product that I have not ordered yet, and I got it kind of by default because it's here in this Whiff box. These are called Scentsy Swipes, and these are a nice, freshening, cleaning wipe. They're not necessarily a disinfectant as the same way as maybe the bathroom cleaner would be, but they're good for sort of tidying up the kitchen or the sink or whatever. And I do not love this do not flush thing that's on here. All of us as consultants have said, I wish they'd had a different way of warning us not to use this in the flushable direction, but it is very nice, smells like Squeeze the Day, and I think it will be helpful to just kind of clean things up and tidy up in my kitchen, because everybody in my house thinks that it's somebody else's job to clean up after whatever they just left, so those will be good for me as I'm doing that all the time. After that, the reason that I wanted this box was for dish soap, which they do not carry in the catalog anymore and only do as limited time offer here and there once in a blue moon. This is in Pink Sunshine, and this was a wonderful scent that was in our Valentine's collection last year. So I'm going to take the tab off of the top of this, I hope. Sometimes these are so hard to get off on camera. There we go. And see what this is like. In the Valentine's collection last year, it was a beautiful, almost like apple pear romantic scent. Kind of reminds me of Apple Press if you're not familiar with Pink Sunshine itself, and this is really good. And what's so cool about this is that next week I will have the ability, I don't know if it's early access or if everyone gets it, I'm pretty sure everyone gets it. I will have the ability to get the rest of the cleaning line in this scent, so I wanted to make sure that I picked up the dish soap that's only available as an exclusive in this month's Whiff box. So then, another thing that was in here, because this was really heavy, was bathroom cleaner in our new catalog staple scent, which is going to be Banana Leaf and Bamboo, and I really liked this in the counter clean, so now I have a bathroom cleaner. And last but not least, there are 2 bars in here, one of which is next month's scent of the month, and then there's another sneak sniff here, which I don't know what collection this goes to. My guess is it's probably our upcoming summer collection, but I could be wrong. So this is going to be the scent of the month, which I will also have the scent and warmer of the month kit video for you soon. And this one, this is Key Lime and Grapefruit, and our scent of the month for next month is Blooming Marvelous. So let's start with Blooming Marvelous, which is sort of like a sweet floral. I believe there's some amber in here. I'll discuss this more in that separate video with the warmer of the month coming up. Oh, this is pretty. This is gentle. It's very ladylike. And I really do like this. It's probably going to be a bedroom scent, small zone scent, though. It's not super strong. But it's beautiful, and I think I personally would melt this with other summery florals, and it's really, really pretty. There might be some strawberry or raspberry in there. And then I'm even more excited about this Key Lime and Grapefruit. I love lime. I love grapefruit. This spring, there's kind of been a scent trend with different companies that Key Lime is sort of the hot ticket. Oh, this is nice. See, I love lime and sugarcane, which we're actually going to be getting back for Bring Back My Bar. I love cocoa lime. This is nice. So this is similar to the lemon and mandarin one that we're going to get in the wellness collection. It has a little bit of the same lime as cocoa lime, but it's not creamy, obviously, because this is grapefruit with your key lime. But this is really nice, zesty, fresh, clean. Probably medium throw, maybe a little bit stronger than your Bloomin' Marvelous. So what you get in your Whiff box is $35 if you don't get it half off. For me, it was half off of $35 for 2 bars, which would be $6 a piece. a thing of dish soap, which I think is either 10 or 12 when they used to carry this in the catalog. I don't honestly remember how much the Scentsy swipes are. I'm going to guess somewhere between 12 and 16. I don't know. And then I'm pretty sure that our bathroom cleaner is 10 or 12. So half off on all of that goodness is definitely worth it. So if you're interested in this Whiff box, make sure that you get it before the end of the month, because this is a subscription service all on its own. You can also just subscribe for the Whiff box and get that every month if you want. But this you can get either at 10% off for less than the $60 if you just wanted to like throw it in a club shipment and always get it every month and that's all you wanted to get 10% off, or if you always wanted the Whiff box and you had other bars that you exchanged and you wanted the $60 amount of the bars, then you get that Whiff box or whatever else you want to put in your half off slot, half off every month, which could be a brick, it could be a washer Whiffs tub, it could be any of that. So after we do all that jazz, let's get into my box of wax here. And there is a lot of goodness going on. So my quarterly club, and as I mentioned, you can have a monthly club, you can have a bi-monthly club, and or you can have a quarterly club. I choose to carry a bi-monthly and a quarterly. I am vaguely toying with the idea of massively cutting this down and combining it into a quarterly, but will have a really hard time pulling the trigger and kicking out that many bars, but it's something I probably need to do because the volume I'm getting in my club when I have the two different ones is getting to be a bit much. But I love all the scents and it's so hard to say no to a bar, you know? So all of the quarterlies that I have here, most of them are going to be more seasonal, where I would either use them at Christmas time or I'd use them specifically in the summer. They're not as generic or as all year round appealing for me as most of the things that are currently in my bi-monthly club, which is more bakery, vanilla, spice, all that. So we got a little bit of everything in here. A couple of these are bars where they were in 3-bar bundles or collections, where on the website I wasn't able to isolate the bar and get however many I wanted, which is another nice feature of Club. Such as this bar here, which is Strength. This is in our Mother's Day trio, but you cannot separate this and just get it by itself on the website right now. So I wanted to get a couple of these, so I threw 2 of these, and I think 2 of Kindness or 1 in here from Mother's Day because I loved this one, my husband loved the other one. So let's just start with this. Strength is nectarine and I believe lemon and pineapple. It is a beautiful, sweet, floaty, fruity scent that kind of leans a little floral because all the perfume in the fruits is so heady. It's really pretty. So I got 2 of this to put away for a rainy day. I got 1 or 2 of Glorious Grapefruit, which is current, and you can get this one as an individual bar in our Happiness Blooms collection, but right now you can't get the whole Happiness Blooms bundle because that's sold out. So getting what I wanted in Club was good. Then I have here a bar from last year's Bring Back My Bar in the Summer, Rustic Lodge. This was one of my Scentsy heartbreaks that I finally got back, and I'm happy it's in my club again. This is so good. This is an autumn smell with lots of wood smoke, pine sap. It's really, really nice. Very rustic, just like it says, and very up north woodsy. Good smell. One of probably my top 50 of all time, maybe even top 25. And one of the ones that I missed the most when I had pulled it from my club, and that was not a good idea. Another one which I've had in my club for years is Farmhouse Fir. And this, people try to get this voted back and bring back my bar, and it just never quite makes the cut, so I just keep it safely in my quarterly. This is so beautiful. It is the sweetest tree scent with some grapefruit, lots of fir needle. It's just sweet and kind. It's not sharp like a lot of Christmas tree smells. I tend to melt this one more in November or January than really in December because it's less festive and more just cozy to me. Another one I've got in here is Cozy Cashmere, and this is a beautiful bar that was in the Cozy collection at Christmas time years ago. This has blackberries, it's got amber, it's on the more sensual side, it's very warm and rounded in body care. And it's one of my favorites, and it's really good and never coming out. Another one that I have here is probably the crown jewel of all my clubs for rarity, and that is going to be Vanilla Oud. We here in Region 1 have been begging Scentsy to bring this back. There was even a point where we thought that we were going to get it in a bundle in a flash sale, and for whatever reason at the last moment they switched it out for some other bar and people were not happy. So I keep this in my quarterly. And this is like a dark oud wood and really nice rich leather and vanilla. It is so elegant and it's just a fantastic smell. So the next one I have here is a very good vanilla. And I now have so many different vanilla options between bakery vanilla and the regular vanillas that are in my club. And then another company that I really enjoy, Teddy Bees, I'm going to be getting a haul that has a lot of vanilla in there too. And I'm toying with the idea of doing some scent note spotlights over the summer where I take like all of the things that I have of a particular scent, where vanilla would be a great place to start, and kind of discussing the different nuances of all those things. So if you guys are interested in doing like a scent note spotlight series, maybe we would do cinnamon, maybe we do vanilla, just some of those basic notes that you find musk in a lot of good bars. If that sounds good, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try to kind of pull those together in the next couple of months. But Vanilla Cream is the bar that I kind of regret not having this in my bi-monthly, because this is a little bit stronger than Simply Vanilla, very similar, and just a darn good performing bar if this is the type of thing that you want. But I'm always out of it because I tend to reach for it faster than Simply Vanilla. And I love the Very Vanilla that's in our catalog right now, but that's a little bit more floral, a little bit more feminine. The Vanilla Cream and the Simply Vanilla are just really good basic vanillas. And so is Very Vanilla, but nuances, they're a little bit different. Under the Oak Tree. This was part of a wonderful collection last year where I don't even remember what the name of it was. The Open Plains collection. It was all cowboy themed and it was so much fun. And this bar is so good. This has some oak, it's got some apple, it's got some probably mahogany and some leather. It is fantastic. My older daughter and I both love that, and that will never be coming out either. Now here's a bar that I'm debating about keeping, not because it isn't amazing, but because I'm not going through enough of it. And that is Red Berry and Spruce. This is great for Christmas time. It's the nicest spruce note Scentsy's made, in my opinion. Because in here, that spruce, oh, it smells so good. This is so nostalgic, which is why I cannot cut it, but I haven't melted much of it. The spruce in here really smells like this gorgeous blue spruce that I've got in my backyard that I usually will cut and put in pots. It makes me look like I got in a fight with a cat, but I'll put it in pots on my front porch around Christmas time because it makes a good filler green for arrangements and it's free. But that smell is in here with the cranberry and the raspberry, and it's phenomenal. So good. Always makes me happy and sends me straight back to Christmas time. Here's one where I am so excited that they are, at least at the moment, offering this in clearance in a brick. Sweet Orange and Pomander. Oh, Sweet Orange Pomander is one of my favorites, and I know at least one of you commented on my channel that because I loved it so much, you gave it a try and you cannot stand it, and I am so sorry. You have to love super, super saturated spices. If you like cinnamon bear, if you like one of the pomander things that they had years ago, I don't remember the name of it. If you like cloven cinnamon, if you liked maybe even Wassail Wonderland and spices, then you will like this. If you do not like those, do not touch that brick. You'll hate it. But, oh, I just ordered 2 bricks of this. This is the happiest, most wonderful scent for me emotionally. And I'll melt this all fall, winter long. It is a spice bomb with dried orange peel, and I cannot get over how much I love that. So, if you want some, go get it in clearance if it's still there. Cozy Spice. Now, this is for anyone. This is not just for the hardcore spice lover. This is a gentler spice with more nutmeg. It's got some creaminess. It's a favorite of mine. Like, I could melt this today. It's kind of overcast and not sure what it wants to do with itself outside. And this, even though it is a very nice cozy fall winter scent, it's almost more like a nice spiced tea with a little bit of cream and just really good gentle spices with that nutmeg. So it is pleasant all year round. We haven't seen hide nor hair of that, for forever either. And it's too bad because that I wish would come back and bring back my bar. I just don't think it sold enough and enough people knew about it. These were both in that same collection. There was also Cozy Cabin, which I totally regret pulling from my club. That's like the last one that I want back that I don't think I will get back because it probably never sold volume enough to get into the voting roster. So there's Cozy Spice, Cozy Cookie, Cozy Cardigan, Cozy Cranberry, which I'm over. I didn't really like that one. And the Cozy Cabin, which I miss. The next one we've got here, I hope comes back next fall winter, but if it doesn't, it's in my quarterly, and that is Maple Apple Bourbon. This is like my personality in a bar, at least in my opinion. It is warm and rich and mellow, but kind of strong and maybe sometimes a little bit much, but I try not to be, and this kind of mellows out as you melt it. I had a lady at church yesterday who's known me for a while now, that we went out to dinner with her, had to do with mission work and things, and she was admitting to me, and she's like in her 70s, she's like, the first time I met you, you scared me. And I'm like, why? And in her instance, it was that I was so quiet because Greg was doing all the talking at our first meeting. But anyway, I'm rambling. It's funny how people perceive us very differently than what we are. But I love maple apple bourbon, and I feel like it suits me to a T. So it has the warmth from the bourbon, a nice oakiness, the maple, and then just a beautiful, rounded, juicy red apple. Another one of strength. Toasted marshmallow, which I think is another one that they really need to bring back for Bring Back My Bar, and I'm so sad that most of you have not had the chance to put this in forever. I think the last time we offered this, it was a trio for Easter. But this is just really good, especially in the summer or the early fall. Fabulous mixed with around the campfire, which I think is also in here. Fantastic with gooey bakery scents for summer. Really good with Bonfire Beach. Just good roasted, toasted, malted marshmallows. Then we have White Sands, which is another beautiful bar I've always kept in my quarterly club. This is really subtle. Kind of reminds me of Fiji White Sands from BBW, but that has an extra sweetness that this does not. This just has jasmine, rice milk. It's really creamy. Makes you want to go put out your hammock on the white sand beach and sip a pina colada and put on your sun hat. Another one that I have here is for my husband. This is Kindness from our current Mother's Day collection. This is such a nice balance of floral and just a little bit of clean. It's got a little bit of clothesline or clean breeze in it, but only a drop, so I like it rather than it giving me a headache and I have to open all the windows and kill the warmers. So good. And I just got this in fragrance flower, and I think I'm going to put that fragrance flower and a bar of this in the basement because this weekend I'm getting that basement situated. It is such a disaster. Cozy Chai. Now, over time, I have added so many wonderful spice bars to the roster of things that are in my clubs that I do not sing the praises of this like I used to. But this has always been really one of my top favorite bars. And there are a lot of other choices now, but I still really love this spice bar. It's so good. It's chai, almost leans a little bit gingerbread. It's got caramel, it's creamy. So the difference between this and Cozy Spice is that the Cozy Spice is very bakery, whereas this is more latte. And this has more ginger. This is a little bit more powerful spice blend. So good. And if I had to choose between the two, Cozy Chai or Cozy Spice, I think I would keep the Cozy Chai because this is one of the best performing bars. This lasts forever, and it is just really, really pleasant. I always tell people, if you find that, you've got to get some, even if you don't think you like spice that much. Blue Sage and Tonka. This is from my older daughter. I would pull this from my club. Like, I like it, but I don't love it, but I do keep it for her. It's very tailored. It's warm. Really good late fall, early, like late summer, early fall, I mean. Kind of a transition bar. It's got the black lavender or blue lavender. No, black lavender, blue sage, and tonka beans. Really good. Kind of flirts masculine, but not cologne-y. The next one we have here is Autumn Blaze Maple, which is another one I love, right up there with Maple Apple Bourbon. This is another bar that, to me, this is the soul of autumn sunshine, and it makes me so happy. So it's got the maple and the wood and the pumpkins and the spices, but it's like golden and glorious. I love living in Michigan in the fall. It's the peak time of the year where there is just beauty everywhere, and it smells so good outside. And this just puts me in the mood. Like right now, I want to go get a sweater and pumpkins and just pretend that it's not March. I want it to be October. Oh, it's so good. So good, so good. The next one I have here is Silver Bells. And this is a scent where I have to safeguard it because it's so beautiful. If I knew that I knew it was coming back next year, this would be kind of the bottom third of what I have to save in club, but then I know I'll regret it when I want that one bar of Silver Bells and someday they pull it from the catalog and I can't get it. Because this is only a Scentsy scent. Nobody else makes anything like this ever that I have ever smelled. It's got beautiful candy canes. It's got ambery, like a muskiness that's sort of body care, and pear. It's just incredible. And it's elegant and beautiful and great for the winter time. And it could be Christmas specific, but you could also melt that like November, December, January, even into February. If I could get a dupe somewhere, I might pull it, but I just can't. Hazelnut Frosting. This is another one that was a really old holiday trio ages ago, and this is subtle, but I have never seen anything quite like it, so I have a hard time booting it from my club. This is the nicest buttercream scent, and it's got a pinch of ginger and smooth roasted hazelnuts. It's gorgeous, and it is really its own thing. The warmth in here is beautiful, and I just keep it in my club. You can see it's got a flat bottom. This means it's a very oldly produced bar. Oldly, I made up a new word. Stroop Waffle Delight. Now here is a top 25 bar for me. I love this. This is such a rich, decadent bakery bar. Very much like pumpkin pecan waffles from Bath & Body Works. It just drips with butter. It's got fantastic cinnamon. Oh, and that wonderful, like, almost waffle, like a buttermilk waffle. It's a Stroop waffle, which is a cookie that you can almost make into like an ice cream cone, but I almost get really good waffles dripping in cinnamon, sugar, and butter. It's just phenomenal. Throws like a beast and is one of my favorite bakery bars of all time. Next one that I've got here is Palo Santo and Cinnamon. Now I did pull this. I just threw an extra one of these in to have it over the summer. If it comes back next fall, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. This was a new release last fall, winter, but I honestly didn't melt it that much in cold weather and thought I might like it better on a rainy day in the summer. So I think this has bergamot, it's got Palo Santo, it's got cinnamon. It's really sophisticated, but I didn't like it in cold weather, which is weird. So I wanted to put it away for literally a rainy day. Another one that I have in here is a second one of kindness, like I said, so I can put those in my stash downstairs. The next one is Hometown Cowboy. I love this. Greg loves this. It's similar to White Amber Antique if you can't, obviously get your hands on this. This is just a little bit more leather, and the White Amber Antique is a little bit more of the amber and masculine notes, but not quite so leathery. This is so good, you guys. I want to find a cologne that smells like this for Greg. Oh, it's so nice. It's just clean cut. I don't remember exactly what's in here. I want to say maybe a black mahogany. Tell me if I'm wrong. And cologne notes, but there's warmth and it's balanced well with the leather so that it's not too anything. It's just perfect. Absolutely love this. Between this and this is Hometown Cowboy. Between this and Under the Oak Tree, personally, I would keep this one longer if I ever had to make cuts, but they're both great. The other one just has some apple. It's not quite so cologne. Summer Rain. Here's another bar that I learned the hard way. I kicked it out of my club once. I'll never do that again. This is one that you got to be in the mood for, but it just smells like warm, beautiful summer rain on the pavement. It's got some black lava salt, some cyclamen, some really nice watery and airy type just blue notes that are superb, and the warmth is very nice. If you compare that to Thunderstorm, which I don't even have a bar of it, that's so much sharper, and Summer Rain is sweeter and warmer. Homestead Holiday. Here's another bar where I'm arguing with myself that I love this, I don't want to cut it, but I'm getting such a large stack because I'm not going through enough of it that I may have to. Oh, it's so good though. It's like, why? Why? Because one day you'll run out of those 10 bars and you'll be really mad. So that's why I do bar swaps with a lot of people, so you can kind of circulate things you're getting too much of and, they don't have it. Oh, beautiful. Blood Orange, Fir Needle, and Cinnamon Stick. Grandma's Kitchen. Absolute cozy Christmas. Beautiful. It was in our Scent of the Season last year, and I hope y'all clubbed it because it's fabulous. The next one in here is Cashmere Leaves. Now, this was part of our Harvest 5-bar bundle last fall because they changed them on us last year. They bumped it up to 5 bars rather than a trio, which I liked. And this was one of the standout bars of that season. This is so beautiful. This has cashmere spice. It's got apples. It's got crunchy leaves. It's very layered and nuanced. Great for September and October. Really, any day that you wanted something sort of a little bit earthy but still very sweet from the apple, this would be a good rainy day bar, but it is definitely fall. Kind of reminds me of Hemingway, but more feminine version of such. And I think Hemingway's in this one too. And then Fall Feelin'. I think I might have already, I don't know, I might have trimmed this out of my club because I got several. It's so strong. Oh, this was one of my favorite bars from last fall. I'll have to go back and see whether I already took it out of my club, but it's extremely strong. So I may only melt one of these a season, and I have a few of them now. This was my loved it, hated it, and then loved it again bar. And like I said, who knows if it was popular enough that it'll survive to fight another season. But this smells so much like an old Yankee tart that was called Autumn something. Because this is Fall Feelin', and that is, I think, Autumn Leaves. This is so retro. and it's very strong. It's got, I think, some cranberry. Oh, what else is in here? Definitely a very leafy sort of going through the woods, and you get that little bit of almost funky decay, but in a good way, with all those fall scents. There's juniper in here. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Next one is Everything Nice. Now this made me super excited because it's this deep roasty toasty pumpkin scent. I told you this was going to be very seasonal heavy, this club. Like, I want to melt this right now. This is so good. I know for some people this is the funky squashy pumpkin that you don't like, but because this has the nuts in it, it's got like a pecan praline in with that really deep roasty pumpkin. Oh my gosh, I love this. It'll be good with nut scents. I do have coming in my Teddy Bees haul a loaf of Whipstaff Manor, which that's hard to get your hands on. I finally got some. This is going to be amazing in a different room or alternate warmers with that, because they both have this charred roasted pumpkin thing going on. And I know some people, like I said, you hate the pumpkin note that's in this, but I really like it with the pecans. I think that's an amazing bar. Okay, next thing is Moon Orchid. This is not in my club. I just threw it in for shipment purposes. This is current in our spring summer catalog. This is the one where I like it, and then I love it, and then I like it. It's kind of like the fall feeling where I'm just sort of undecided. But the longer that this one melts, the more mellow it gets and the better I like it. And some of those sort of perfumey bars, like this has bergamot, it's got orchid, it's got a bunch, I think vanilla orchid, it's got a bunch of sultry, perfumey notes in it. The longer this goes, the more I enjoy it, and it has good longevity, so I wanted another bar. Next one I've got here is Eucalyptus Wreath, and I think I may have also pulled this. Again, I'm not sure. I was going and doing some trimming because when my club shipments get up past a certain point and then I'm looking at what's in the basement, I'm like, Elizabeth, you have to say goodbye to something. Oh, it's so good though. This is really fresh. This has mint. It's got eucalyptus. Might have a little bit of juniper, but it's fresh and bright rather than funky like the fall feeling. Beautiful bar. I think this is one that's underrated, and if it comes back next fall and you haven't tried it, don't be scared. It's not eucalyptus like Just Breathe. It's not even eucalyptus like some of the things that will be coming in our mental health awareness collection next month. It's just sweet and beautiful. Okay, here is the bar that is now tied for best nostalgic Christmas scent of all time with my beloved Cozy Fireside. Sweet Orange and Evergreen. I have 2 of them quarterly in my club, and it is so good. Oh, like, it still makes me tear up. And I've been melting this for a couple years now. It smells like Yankees mistletoe. It makes me feel like I'm 10 or 12. I'm in Frankenmuth with my parents. We're at the candle store. We've had the most beautiful day. It is so good. So it has mistletoe greens. It has really nice, sweet, like arrangement type evergreens. It's not the really sharp, cleaner type pine. Excuse me, I dropped the thing. It's sweetness, and then it's got that little bit of orange. One of my absolute favorite bars Scentsy's ever made, hands down. So good. And I'm pretty sure I have 2 of that because it was so good. Yeah, I do. I keep that 2 quarterly because that only lets me get 6 bars a year, and I definitely melted that many last fall. Okay, and then something that's kind of a runner-up in the same department, but just not as nostalgic, is Sleigh Ride, which was part of our 5-bar holiday bundle last year. And this is so good too. This is more all-purpose. The Sweet Orange and Evergreen to me is very nostalgic. This is more like if you're feeling like you want something November, December, January that isn't too pine tree, but it's very festive. Sleigh Ride's your bar. So it's got fir and cranberry. And it is so stinking good. I hope they put this thing in the catalog next year because I think this is one of the best, most user-friendly fir and balsam and all that type bars that we've had. Ooh. I got 2 of Around the Campfire. I think that's a mistake. There was, I think only 1 in my shipment, but whatever. Anyway, I've got 2 bars of Around the Campfire. I'll have to check the quantities that where they were supposed to put in here. And I'm glad for an extra if that's true because I love this bar. And this I put in my quarterly to safeguard every year. This is probably my favorite mixer of all time. Like I said, it's great with toasted marshmallow. It's great with cinnamon bear. If you've got some, it's really good with iced pine. That's now retired. I should have kept that in my club, but like I said, how many bars can you keep? It would probably be good with very snowy spruce. It's great with sugar. I mean, it's good with pretty much anything. So, you know, I should try this. even with something very aquatic and see if I get a really cool beachy bonfire scent or if it's just funky. I don't know. I'll have to try that. Like maybe by the sea and see if it's a disaster or if it's amazing. Saddle Up. Now this one's kind of on the chopping block because I do have a lot of different leather type scents in this club. But it's so good. And this is the one, this always makes me laugh because I don't tend to peg a scent with an actor or a TV personality. But years ago, Patricia Gates smelled this for the first time and she's like, this is Burt Reynolds. And I can just never forget that. Like I can never unsee it. I can never unthink it. And it cracks me up because growing up as a kid in the 80s, you know, he was in all the sitcoms and he had his, I don't even remember what that car was. And it just makes me laugh because that is one personality and star, movie star association I actually know because I'm not very into culture. And so, you know, if I get rid of Saddle Up, I just won't have any good memories of Burt Reynolds and all of his TV shows. Not that I ever even watched them, but, you know. Sweet Plum Pastry. I like this a lot. This is another one where the problem with some of the bars I've got in here is that if I let go of them, they are the cult classic favorites that everybody wants to get their hands on. And I know I'll kick myself if I pull them, even if I'm not melting a lot. And Sweet Plum Pastry is right up there with your Vanilla Oud. This is one of those bars. And it is so good. So it's got the bubbly plum juice. It's got the crustiness. It has just this very cuddly, again, rainy day type quality where I would melt this any time of the year. And I hope that they bring this back for something for y'all. I think it was in a bundle last year in something in a flash sale because it is one of the nicest, quintessentially Scentsy bakery bars ever. Whiteout. Now here's another one I think I am going to pull. I've got quite a few. It's my favorite peppermint scent, but on a scale of notes that Elizabeth loves, peppermint's like way down here. So this is the best of those bars, kind of like the kindness. This is the best of the laundry floral bars, but it isn't gonna like make my heart sing like the pumpkin or the really funky fall bars. Those are the ones that or the Christmas that I just get so attached to. But this is so good, and I did wait a long time to get it back, so you know I'll have to go and count how many bars I've got and figure it out. But this is beautiful, beautiful golden apple, little touch of pine, and nice peppermint. Nicest one. Doesn't throw super strong, which is fine because peppermint gives me a headache if it's too much, and that is good. That'd be really good with eucalyptus wreath too. Okay, here is cinnamon pine cones, which is another one where I may have pulled this, I'm not sure. This is a great bar that was in our catalog last fall, winter. I don't know if it'll live to fight another day this fall, but it's so good. And this is like an updated version of what you want a spice bar to be. It's woodsy, it's spicy, it's got some pine cones, but it's just, I don't know, it's all the things with the cinnamon and the resinous pine and, I don't know, it's just, and this is amazing mixed with very snowy spruce. So now I'm nervous that I might have pulled this and it was a bad idea, but I've got several, and I really mostly mix this, but if you're looking for the modern, updated, that's Christmas without it being too cliche, if they bring this back next fall, cinnamon pine cones, I think is one of the better, middle of the road, you could probably gift it to almost anyone, very festive bars that we've produced. It kind of took the place of Be Merry, totally different type of smell, but I think it kind of fits that niche as far as what it's good for. Lush Gardenia. Never taking this out of my club. This is one of those bars that is, again, it's got a niche following. It's a cult classic. It's too bad that they took this thing out of the catalog. I'm not into a lot of summer things as far as keeping them for forever, but this bar is so good. It's dramatic. It's in your face. It's creamy and luxurious. At the moment, the Garden Fresh Gardenia is sold out, but if you want a gardenia fix, throw some of that in a club so that whenever they do restock it, you'll get it in a shipment. But this Lush Gardenia, alternate warmers with Garden Fresh Gardenia, you have died and gone to like movie star gardenia heaven from the 50s. It's so beautiful. Okay, we're getting down there. Hendrix. This is another bar where I defend it for myself. My family does not like this, but I really love it. But I'll tell you what, Black Tie Affair is giving this a run for its money, but this is like the fall version of warm, tobacco-y, vanilla-y masculine scent, and the Black Tie Affair is more the spring-summer version. There's room for both in my world. I will probably be keeping both, but Hendrix has the tobacco, the peppercorn, oh, it's so good and warm and rich, the patchouli, and the rest of my family loves to hate it. Okay, next we've got Vanilla Barnwood. Now here's another bar. I am keeping it because at one point I pulled Pacific Sandalwood from my club, silly me. And this is sort of a good runner-up. It's a little bit different. It's got creamy vanilla, it's got barnwood, and then there's amber in here. But it smells like Fruit Loops. It does. It's a little weird, but it's so good. And it's just such an odd bar, and we'll never get it back. So this is just staying in my quarterly for now. It's another one of those where, like, if I get 10 and I'm not melting it, I might pull it. But then I'll regret it, just like I did Pacific Sandalwood. Black Forest Pine. Love this bar. This is, again, because you can see I love my pine and balsam type smells. This is sweet. It's deep. It's rich. It's got what? Smoked vanilla, peppered tangerine, and really deep dark woods. It's so good. I was just talking about this being good in alternate warmers with something like our new rosemary mint. If you wanted a pine scent, not at Christmas time, but you wanted to kind of lighten it up. And here is my very favorite spring summer scent of all time, which they have discontinued, Summer Holiday. I love this. It's got vanilla, oranges, tiger lilies, I think plumeria, and it is gorgeous. Now, I wanted to sniff Blooming Marvelous next to this, and maybe for me it's just that it's the same color. They're not the same, but they both have amber and florals. So this is a lot more like strawberry. It's more tailored. It doesn't have the richness of Summer Holiday, but I think these might be really good in alternate warmers. If you get the Blooming Marvelous and you have Summer Holiday, I would do those on the same day in different spaces because they're very nice. And then we're down to the last couple bars here. I will save my very favorite bar of all time for There's a second maple apple bourbon in here too. I don't think that I ordered 2 of both of those bars. I think that's a mistake. Whatever. Anyway, I'll look at my packing slip. Maple apple bourbon. I love that. And cran apple crumble. I'm pretty sure I did keep this one. This is just, it's a really happy bar. This is like an August and September bar or a rainy day bar for me. It's a cranberry, apple, allspice, whipped cream, brown sugar. Very interesting bakery, and it does last pretty long for a bakery scent. One of the better ones they've produced in the last couple years, where I feel like it's kind of been Scentsy's not as good for bakery season. Those couple years were really bad. We're kind of getting back into some better ones more recently, but that from 2022-ish, I think was their best bar. And then, last but not least, my favorite bar of all time, Cozy Fireside, where the sweet orange and evergreen is now rivaling it for nostalgia factor. But this is Christmas childhood in a bar for me, and I will never take it out of my club. When they got rid of it out of the catalog and I had gambled that it would be back, I was so sad. And some of you were so sweet and you sent me piles of it from your own stash, and I appreciate that. I now have this very large backlog of these downstairs, so I dropped this from 2 to 1 quarterly because I really only melt 2 or 3 of these a year anyway. So good. The ginger, the very embery, glowy kind of spice scent, and it's just so 1980s nostalgic Christmas. I love it. So that is everything that's in my quarterly. And I wonder if I can find my packing slip. Nope. I think the packing slip's in the other room. If Scentsy was a little generous, I'm very thankful for the extra maple apple bourbon and the extra around the campfire because I will certainly use them. Please start a club if you are serious about saving scents that you just never want to be without. My website, which is waftingwonderfulwax.scentsy.us, is always open, and my very favorite thing to see on my workstation is that someone has started a new club with me. If you've got any questions, you can email me, you can put comments down below. This is my favorite thing about being a Scentsy customer. It is my Scentsy club, and I hope that you guys have a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.